Yes, we're back. Hello, everyone. It's me here for it, and welcome back to my attempt to beat a Hardcore Nuzlocke of the new Pokémon Lazarus in hard mode. All that's left is the Elite Four. This is our third time making it to the Elite Four. This is the best shape we have ever been in for the Elite Four as far as number of deaths. We only have 5 deaths. They all two of them happened in very legitimate ways. Sack for momentum, had to be done, not very consequential. The last 3 were all 3 sloppy. The first one was I lost my Mawile to a trainer battle right on the precipice of my final rival fight before the Elite Four. Really sucks. I was fully intending on bringing Mawile to the Elite Four, but I will have to replace them. Then, after just being in kind of a shitty mood, I just started playing kind of sloppy. I have this bad habit sometimes of just kind of shutting down and powering through, and I lost Dugong here, as well as Owl and Junko, Dugong and Omastar, respectively. Now, these two I don't think were coming to the Elite Four. Dugong is a maybe. Omastar for sure wasn't coming, but Finch here was definitely supposed to come to the Elite Four. So now, you know, I wanted to do a lot of this off stream, but I just don't have time like that right now in my life to be cooking for hours on my own time. I just don't have time like that. So that's what the stream's for. I don't think we may not actually fight the Elite Four tonight. I have available to me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 encounters still. 11 encounters left. And, you know, I've got a really strong batch of Pokemon already, but I just don't want to lose to this Elite Four again. And so I really kind of want to thoroughly explore my options for encounters and explore my options for just the Elite Four in general. And so that's what today's stream is going to be. It's going to be a lot of looking at, you know, at my documentation here and figuring out like what Pokemon I have that would fight well into them, and what Pokemon can we pick up that might kind of fill in some of the gaps. So let me see real quick if I can't bring you in on the process a little bit, so to speak. I think that I should be able to get this. We should be back. All right, we're back. Hey, everybody. So I've got the documentations pulled up here, and, you know, we'll switch kind of back and forth between this view and this view. But for right now, I just want you to see, like, the very first team we're dealing with. So last time I got to the Elite Four, something I cooked up that seemed to be working really well is we went and caught a Scyther, which I think we still have available to us in our Sea of Volkai encounter. And the Scyther, we evolved it into a Scizor, and we did like 1 or 2 Swords Dance on the Jump Bluff, and then dual Wing Beat and Bullet Punch really just like ripped through this team until we came to Crustle here, which had Sturdy, and then we got hit back and away, and that was our plan into Ribombee, was to just, so it was kind of like an oversimplification of what was going down. And then, you know, once you get past that, like, I also wanted to have him maybe for Terpsichore here. But if you look more closely, there's only two Psychic-type Pokemon, Reuniclus here and Bruxish, that we'd actually be able to hit for super effective damage with bug moves. Because Gallade, Medicham, and Braviary... Okay, Weird Ear as well, but it's still less than half the team. It's 3 out of... What am I looking at? 3 out of 9 that we'd be able to... A third of the team we'd be able to hit for super effective, and then we'd be pretty vulnerable offensively and defensively to all the fighting-type Pokemon. This team is the scariest one, perhaps. There's just something really daunting and tough to navigate around about being led against by a Toxic Spikes setter. And so it kind of puts me into a state of mind where either we got to get somebody who's got Rapid Spin on the team, or we have to bring a Poison-type Pokemon to the Elite Four. And let's go back to the game view. I've got 2 Poison-type Pokemon. And, you know, Arbok is not without promise. Dove, the Arbok here. But it's not a particularly great Arbok. And it's not like... It's been buffed a little bit in this game, but I don't really see it having a ton of utility in any of these other fights, is kind of the other part of it. Because Intimidate's great, sure, but, like, we would only be bringing him to this fight to eat up Toxic Spikes. He doesn't have any use case into any of these Pokemon, practically. Really dangerous bringing him to this. Not the Psychic types, but, like, I don't know. We can't really damage a lot of the Psychic types with Dark moves. It's a similar setup to the Scizor issue we were talking about. Like, offensively, we just don't play into this team well, and then we don't defend against it great either. Could be good into this team. It could be good, but this is like the least scary team. It's grass types. Everything can be good into grass types. And then the fire types here, I mean, almost none of these are physical attackers. These are... We've got Centiskorch is physical, Marowak, Toucannon, and I guess Mandibuzz. So like 4 physical attackers out of 9. It's not that bad, I guess, but they're certainly not the most threatening of the team. Like the Mega's threatening, but the real threats on this team are Togekiss and Oricorio and Pyroar. Alolan Marowak's kind of threatening. I don't know. But again, it's not a team like that Arbok really has as a Poison Dark type in this game. It doesn't really have like a great use case into. The Champion, I think it's even worse, because we're dealing with, like, yeah, if you look at this, we're dealing with Ghost. I mean, I guess we're Dark type, but we're fighting our way through Earthquakes and... Maybe I'm talking myself into it a little bit. Arbok actually resists quite a bit of these. Okay. I'd say defensively, Arbok plays well into this team here. Really doesn't interact with this team in any particularly advantageous or disadvantageous way. This is really just defensive. Like, it doesn't offensively really have much use into this team. Same with this. This is kind of a complicated relationship. Like, I guess we're immune to all these psychic attacks, which is great, and we're resisting all of these fighting type attacks, which is great. We're really, I think a poison dark type is only weak to ground. Possibly just ground type moves. Is that true? Is this another one like Poison Dark? Yeah. Okay, yeah. We are only weak to dark to ground types rather. I mean, I guess I like could have sat here and told you that, but yeah, Crystal is a beast. Yeah, I mean, Swalot, you're the Swalot apologist, right? That's like your favorite. I wouldn't put it past them to put Swalot in these games, but they didn't do this one. Well, I'm getting more open to the idea of Arbok Elite Four, like bringing a poison type, but not just a poison dark type that kind of stands up to a lot of this stuff pretty good. We'd have to play around with its move set to see how it could be the most helpful. I don't think Ice Fang's not great, because we don't want this thing, like, I don't even want this thing out against ground type Pokemon. There's very few in the grand scheme of things. Like, got no ground, Stomping Tantrum, Earthquake, Bone Meringue, Bone Rush, Earthquake, Drill Run. Yeah, this could be a lot worse. I don't see any ground on Terpsichore's team, so that's good. Stomping Tantrum. Alright, so very, very few Pokemon are actually carrying ground type moves. And in fact, I think there's only one ground type Pokemon in the entire Elite Four. It's just that Clodsire. Well, that's something. I think we want to take a look then at, like, yeah, moveset. Like, what can we teach this thing? I'm trying to juggle more at once than I usually do. Yeah, definitely. I mean, we'd want to, like, we'll definitely bring a flyer. If anything, it'll probably be Gyarados. But we will likely want more than that. I'm heavily considering bringing Archeops because it's got such a good matchup into the Fire Elite Four member, like, because she's a fire flying type. So not only Archeops could go crazy into this grass team here, they've got some coverage to be concerned about between, like, Abomasnow, Rock Slide, Thunderous Kick. Like, a lot of them have coverage, but we still are just so speedy, and we have this perfect IVs. He'd be good into this team, all the fighting type Pokemon. This team, it's a little more complicated. We'd probably have to more or less keep him out of this fight, but then this fight he goes crazy on. Quad super effective, quad super effective, and, like, just, and then he's even got a lot of use for this case. I mean, like, Silverledge he can take out pretty easily. Probably Scrafty he's probably okay into, just gotta survive a head smash, but by that time, I don't know. So I feel like Gyarados is more of a sure thing just because Intimidate is so useful, but I do think, like, Mega Archeops, regular is now one thing I feel like I was noticing is that I don't think this is a Shedinja Elite Four. So out of 9 on the first team, we got 1, 2, 3, 3 Pokemon on that first team that can hit Shedinja. 1, 2, 3, 4 Pokemon on the second team that can hit Shedinja. Toxic Spikes on the third team, so that's a huge red flag for Shedinja. And then beyond that, we have 1, 2 Toxic, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 9 Pokemon on that third. And then all of Radiant's Pokemon are going to have fire or flying moves. And then they made sure to throw Crunch on those Mega Cyclozars at the end. Didn't they? Damn, dude. But yeah, every single Pokemon on the Champions team can hit Shedinja. So this is not a Shedinja Elite Four. Shedinja, you've done your time, you've done your part, and we appreciate you. I'm even toying around with, like, some games don't account for Shedinja. I don't have a Wish user, no, but I could get one, I'm pretty sure. I have 11 encounters available to me still. So right now I'm just kind of trying to cook up, like, what would I bring if I didn't pick up any of those encounters, and what would that make me nervous about? So, this first team, I want to see what we might have that can maybe one-shot the Jumpluff, because that Jumpluff setting up Leech Seed at the beginning can be quite the annoyance, and if we can sweep through that Jumpluff, it gives us a chance at maybe sweeping through a lot more of the team. So I have 193 on my Incineroar's attack. Oh my god. Just more than they let you have in the game at this level, I guess. Vanilla game. And then 94 speed. 136 special defense. My goodness. And 132 defense. Okay. And then Jumpluff, right? So this Jumpluff is going to be, I think level 56 is right. I think I was already starting to work on this. Yeah, 56, but I believe that this thing has buffed stats. So let's take a look at the buffed stats. Command F. Jumpluff. Lazarus. Yeah, so it's a little slower, and it's got 15 points better defense and 5 points better defense. So let's just say 85 and 100, and it's like a little slower. That's what it would look like. Flare Blitz, according to this, should one-shot. Even with the increased defense? Is this right? 85? 85? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so Incineroar should be able to one-shot with Flare Blitz. Take a little more than quarter damage as a result. Now, then, the question becomes, which of these Pokemon does Incineroar not want to see? Obviously, we kill the Abomasnow easy. Delmise? I bet we would kill a Delmise. Let's look. Delmise. Level 56. Kill a Delmise as well, apparently. Appleton would be bad. What does a Darkest Lariat look like? None of them have Intimidate. That's good. Darkest Lariat's a roll. Unless I were to put on like an expert belt, or then it's no longer a roll, it's a guarantee. Okay, so if we can boost Darkest Lariat. No, wait, that's for Delmise still. There's no way. Appleton would be bad to see. Yeah, I mean, it's guaranteed 2-shot with Flare Blitz. But what is Dragon Pulse doing to us? Crit does not quite half, but we're taking a lot of recoil damage. Can Incineroar learn? No, there's no way. He can't learn any ice moves. I've looked at this up already. Yeah, Stab Flare Blitz is going to do crazy into most of this team. It's just like figuring out my outs for these little, like, you know, Appleton and Crustle, really. I'm going to see if I kill literally everything else. If I can one-shot literally everything else with Flare Blitz, that is really important information. Yeah, they're basically using whatever turns the like moves they want, and in fact I think they've even invented some moves. Like they pull moves from Let's Go Pikachu, they pull moves from the past. Like that's definitely the case in this game. Serena, let's see here. Serena at level 56 goes down to a Flared Blitz. Meganium level 56 goes down to 1 Flare Blitz. Leafeon, level 56, goes down to a Flare Blitz. But you can't really sweep with a move that has this bad of recoil. And with a Pokemon this slow. I mean, you can take out the Jump Bluff really quickly. And then maybe bait out either, hopefully, Appleton or Crustle. Crustle. Crabhammer, X-Scissor, Rock Slide, Accelerock. So we need to resist Rock, Bug, Water. Rock and Bug. Makes me think of Steel. How much is this thing doing to us? Let's double check to see if Crustle's been buffed at all. Specifically an attack. What do you mean? Pokemon data, right? Come on. Dwebble? Where are you? Maybe this is only... No, that doesn't make any sense. They're in the game. Where the hell are they? Dwebble and Cross. I was spelling that right. That's annoying. Changes 10. 5 more attack. 5 more HP. That's not that crazy. Okay. Crustle. 56. Base defense. No, base attack. 110. Base HP 75. Alright. Crab Hammer. Now it's time to see What this thing does to Aegislash. What crits we might have to look out for. What else are we looking at? Rock Slide, X-Scissor, Crabhammer. Okay, I think I got all those. Alright, so let's pull up our Aegislash in the game. We're going to want to see Aegislash shield mode to start. 58. Iron Head. Shadow Sneak. Okay. Let's take a look. Aegislash. Alright. Well, that's in sword mode right there. But it looks like physical defense we're clocking 190 and special defense we're doing 176. That's too bad. Okay. So Crabhammer crit in shield form does at most 37%. And then Iron Head is a guaranteed 2-shot. But if we Swords Dance, Iron Head and Shadow Sneak guarantees a kill from Sturdy. So we switch in. Let's say we get crit by a Crabhammer, 37%. We do a Swords Dance, we get hit with another Crabhammer, another 37%, all the way max out. So we're at 74 damage. And then, so that's switching, max crit, Swords Dance, max crit. And this is me not even like King Shielding and getting the attack lowerings with those. So like, we got 24% left. Huh. Citrus Berry. I mean, that's really, really unlikely. And then, yeah, we can do the King Shield. So we come in. Let's do that. We come in. We get hit for 37%. Max crit. We King Shield. Their attack goes down 1 stage. But that doesn't matter for crits. But this is... So, if we're not getting crit, we can tank the Crabhammer at a max 25%. Get off a King Shield, lower the attack. Get off a Swords Dance, +2 our attack. We get hit for a 1 reduced Crabhammer. You know, and if we're not getting crit, we've only at most taken 40% damage. We King Shield again. We lower the attack again. Is this thing faster? It's slower than us. So then that gets a little scary. We are leaving ourselves pretty vulnerable, but not after. So if we've taken 40 damage max, now let's say he crits this Crabhammer. Okay, a critical Crabhammer kills once we're in shield mode. So this is not the answer to Dwebble. That's way too risky ultimately. Unless I put a Rocky Helmet. I put a Rocky Helmet on him for just this fight. Break Sturdy. 1 Swords Dance guaranteed. Oko. Got a held item, Crustle? No held item. Okay. Rocky Helmet. Aegislash. That actually works for me. Okay. So let's write this down. We got for Polemnia, Incin, Flare Blitz, one-shots anything but the obvious exceptions. All but Crustle and Appleton. Rocky, Helmet, Aegislash, kills Crustle. I'm not all the way sold on Incineroar. I mean, okay, let's take a look at this Elite Four again. So, Incineroar, great for this first one, in theory. Intimidate, Citrus Berry to make up for Flare Blitz recoil. Maybe we find a Choice Scarf? Is that something we can find in this game? I really don't know. I don't feel like I was able to find any of the choice items. Quests, maybe? Choice? Yeah, I don't know. Choice Scarf. Pokémon Lazarus. None of the choice items are in this game. Yeah, that's they really said come up with something new. So I think like at most, you know, we send Incineroar into Jump Bluff. We take, you know, damage from acrobatics or even U-turn. Like if they U-turn into Appleton, I mean, we're still doing a considerable amount of damage. 58, 193. Appleton, blank set, Flare Blitz, level 56. Yeah, I mean, if they switch into Appleton, it's still guaranteed two-shot. Unless, what's a Yachi Berry? Is that the thing that keeps you safe from ice moves? Yeah, it looks like it is. So they switch Crustle, we break their Sturdy, we can switch out in the Accelerock to, then we could switch to Aegislash and do the Iron Head stuff. That would be perfectly safe at that point. So he's good into this first fight, but he can't sweep because of the recoil damage. So we need something that can like switch in to a lot of this stuff as well. He can switch into plenty of it. I mean, he can switch in. Not really though. Like, there's a lot of really good coverage. Like, Serena has High Jump Kick and Stomping Tantrum, both super effective. Rabambi's got boosted fairy moves that we're neutral to. The dark typing on Incineroar and on Arbok make for a bad combination into Rabambi, and I'm leaning too heavily on Aegislash. I mean, there's got to be. Let's look at this box. I mean, Togedemaru weirdly is weirdly good into this team. In fact, in an Elite Four where we already established there aren't a lot of earth, like ground type offensive threats, it's actually Possibly really good. I mean, so I was looking at it for Rabombi here. Syrupum, Polypuff, Pollen Puff, Dazzling Gleam, Draining Kiss. It tanks all of that. Really good, actually. Into this fight, it's good into Hisuian Braviary and Bruxish. It's good into Weirdeer even. Bad into all the fighting type Pokemon, obviously. For this fight, it's actually pretty weirdly good for this fight too, because it's immune to all these poison moves. It can hit Tentacruel probably really pretty hard. And fast. It might even be able to pick up a flinch. Got to keep it safe from Gliscor and Clodsire. I mean, could be decent into a lot of this stuff. It certainly is a hindrance, and then this is another one where it could be decent to have. I don't know, though. We got coverage here. Obviously, it's not good for any of the fire types. Coverage with Aura Blast. Coverage with Flame Charge. Although that's physical, they'd be taking the spiky shell damage at least. And then, is it any good into this? No. No. Sure. No. Sure. Sure. No. Huh. Togedemaru, huh? Togedemaru I'm really just looking at because it would be such a good answer to Rabombi here, but like, so would Aegislash a little bit? I don't know. I don't know, though. We need Aegislash for other stuff in this fight, possibly, so I don't want to necessarily rely on it as our sole answer into the Rabombi. But then again, the Rabombi is one where I'm like, what else do I have to resist it? I mean, my fire type and both my poison types are also dark, which like negates their resistance to the fairy moves. Aegislash is good, but we need to not make it too vulnerable. All of this to say still also that I want to bring Passimian because it's such a good answer into this team. Scrappy Passimian fucks up Aegislash and Scrafty and Obstagoon and Spiritomb. It really goes crazy into this team. Tyrantrum. I bring it with Beat Up, it's going to do Ceruledge. I mean, literally the only two Pokemon that it wouldn't fuck up are Lilimuk and Golisopod, and then the actual Cyclozars themselves would be scary. That's another one we got to figure out is who we're bringing against the Cyclozars. I mean, that's almost the thing I feel like I should be working on first, is like, what do I do about Cyclozar? I see Dragon moves on both, obviously. That makes me think Fairy. I see Crunch on both. That also makes me think Fairy. Double Edge, Fairy Ghost, or Fairy Steel. Fairy Ghost keeps you safe from Collision Course. I don't know if we can get a Mimikyu. I think it's probably too late. I almost am really certain that we can't get a Mimikyu. Let's look. Locations, Mimikyu. Oh shit, we can get a Mimikyu. I mean, Crunch. Let's look this up. A Mimikyu at level 58. And then Koraidon, basically. I think that the Mega Cyclozar has the same stats as Koraidon, would be my guess. Crunch. Crunch has... Oh, God. It does, like... It's a 2-shot. My God, dude. Let me double check these stats. Come on, data, Cyclozar, Megalocycle. The Megas are all at the bottom. Mega Cyclozar S. Oh. No, it's still considerably not as strong as Koraidon. Okay, that's good to know. Let's try this then. So it's got an attack IV of 145. Oh, that's better than Koraidon. What the fuck? Defense of 100. Okay, the defense stat is worse. Ooh, no. Special attack 85, special defense 80. Okay, the special defense is much worse. And then speed 131. Okay. Crunch is still a 2-shot. It's even more of a 2-shot now. In fact, a crit cannot kill technically from full. I mean that, but you can't kill Mimikyu from full anyway because of the disguise. So if I switch it in, I'm much slower than him too. Damn, dude. A speed stat of 131. Can we get a fairy with a better speed stat than 131? I wish I could. Mega Archeops has a better stat. Better speed stat. But this is all... I'm like training for the ace. I'm like planning for the ace when I'm like not even... That's part of why I knew I wasn't going to be fighting the Elite Four today, because this... The planning of this is so impenetrable. It kind of really beggars belief. I guess I could try to teach... What's Mega Ribombi's speed? Let's look at that. Mega Ribombi. Where are you at? I know you exist. There you are. Speed stat 139. To keep a fairy type, like a fast, tanky fairy type alive all the way to the ace of this through a fire type and a poison type Elite Four member is quite the tall order. Like, so if we brought our own Rabombi, for instance, probably deal with a lot of this stuff pretty good. Could deal with a lot of this stuff pretty good. It'd be absolutely screwed into this team. Literally wouldn't stand a single chance. I mean, the only thing it might be able to pull off is like a... I guess, like, maybe it could get a Moonblast off into Gyarados. Maybe it could get, like, a Giga Drain off into Caracosta. Can't come to this fight either against literally any of these Pokemon except for maybe Mandibuzz. But again, then we're having to survive Drillpex, which seems really stupid. Then, even in this fight, it's like, it's weak into Cerulege, it's weak into Tyrantrum, it's good into Spiritomb, Obstagoon, it's weak into Alolan Muck, it's not good into Glycopod, it's good into Scrafty, it's bad into Aegislash, and then, just then, maybe you get to a point where you can take on these Mega Cyclozars waiting for you at the end, but then, Mega Ribombi, where'd you go? Why do I keep losing this so easily? Mega Ribombi. There it is. Mega Ribombi. 139, but that's a base stat speed 2 levels. We're 2 levels under the levels of these Pokemon by the time we get there. So, I feel like we have to bring a ground type Pokemon. You got to bring a ground type Pokemon for the possibility of Electro Drift here on Mega Cyclizar V. Ground type Pokemon to eat up Electro Drifts that would otherwise absolutely like devastate pretty much anything. Ground type Pokemon also for Raideen here. Ground type into a lot of this team is also pretty important. Doesn't hurt to have in this fight, and obviously you just have to keep it safe from the first gym leader. Now, in the past, I would have thought Mudsdale was like a guarantee, but my Mudsdale this time around, if I'm not mistaken, pretty trash. Decent bulk, really bad attack. I mean, the bulk is kind of beyond decent. The bulk's pretty good, actually, if I'm being real. And the attack stat is still nuts. Like, a 174 attack stat is still a crazy attack stat. So, I mean, it seems like it's probably a good idea to bring. There's only so much they can do to it on a lot of the fights, and it just survives so many hits. But I'd say even that is not a guarantee. Like, I'm still kind of in a place where, like, there's not one Pokemon that I can look at and go, that Pokemon definitely 100% needs to come to the Elite Four, except, like, even Passimian, I'm like, do I really, like, is that a slot that I really want to, like, keep bogged down, like, for that entire time when I'm dealing with, like, a lot of stuff that it's not good into? It's not good into the second gym Elite Four. It's not good into the third Elite Four. It's not good into the fourth Elite Four. It's like, it's bad, like actively bad into 3 of the Elite Four members, if not arguably all 4 of them, because of Ribombi here. Like, so it seems like kind of a hindrance until the very end. And even for the very end, like, it's good into a lot of these, like, troublesome Pokemon, like Obstagoon and Spiritomb and Aegislash even. Because not having an answer for that Aegislash is going to get us messed up, but Yeah. Okay. This is another good answer into Aegislash, though. Come in, hit Intimidates. Try to hit him with the Parting Shot, maybe, and then bust him with the Flare Blitz. Because as long as we don't flinch, this thing will outspeed. That's one thing that's good about it. What does Mega Archeops... what does that look like? I need to go Mega Evolve this thing to check out its stats more adequately. Actually, no, I don't, because I have perfect IVs, so I just need to... Shedinja, not coming to the Elite Four. Archeops might be. So, let's check this out. Archeops. 58. I'm gonna see how good this guy... Now, that's one thing that sucks about Archeops, is that we don't have a good... another one that can't really sweep this fucking grass team because Brave Bird has recoil. But if we start with Mega Archeops, do a bunch of Brave Bird U-turn stuff, and then Incineroar can, like, mop up a little bit after it, that could be interesting. So, Brave Bird, U-turn. They're really the only relevant moves right now. I guess, what else do you have? Rock Tomb. It's more accurate than Rock Slide. Rock Tomb. Knockoff? Was it really knockoff? Interesting. Now we gotta look at the base stats of Mega Archeops. Base 75 HP, that's right. 165 attack. Boy howdy. 85 defense. 110 special attack. 75 special defense. And speed is 140. Very fast. Okay. So. Oh, wow. I mean, we definitely, yeah, we one-shot that Jumpluff. No problem. Actually, we one-shot it with Rock Tomb. We outspeed in one-shot with Rock Tomb. No, this is unamended defense. Jumpluff has buff defense in this game, so no, that's not accurate. It'd be a roll, pretty sure. Defense, I think, only gets... Yeah, it'd be a roll not in our favor. 15% damage spread, and only only 1/3 of that's in our favor. But the Brave Bird still hits guaranteed one shot. We'd be outspeeding Mega Rabombi too. So a combination of Mega Archeops with U-turn Brave Bird and Parting Shot, Flare Blitz, Incineroar would allow for the sweep of most of this first team. And these are both Pokemon I want for other fights. So that's something. It's something. I would say that bringing Mega Archeops and Incineroar, if those two are on the team, they trivialize this first fight. Especially with the addition of Aegislash, who is almost certainly going to make it on the team. So then this next one... Hisuian Braviary is not very tanky. It goes down to hits pretty easy in my experience. I'm gonna keep Mega Archeops' tab up. I'm gonna start kind of playing around with like what it'll look like if I bring these guys, and I'll keep them in the damage calculator. So Flare, Blitz, Darkest, Lariat. Okay, that's all I need to know about right now. So let's check this out. Braviary, Hisui, level 57. Darkest Lariat, nearly one shot. So again, a Black Glasses boost will guarantee it. So that could be cool. I don't think they have anything they really want to switch a dark, like, into a dark type move, but they might. We don't outspeed, it looks like. I think our speed's sitting at like 93. 94. So we don't outspeed. Unless I wanted to go plus... But if I went plus speed nature, that Darkest Lariat, it's like not even going to be a roll anymore. Because this is adamant stat. Okay, so let's look at this. Braviary, Hisui, blank set, level 57. We definitely outspeed with a Mega Archeops. Rock Tomb does not kill. Let's see what this moveset looks like against us. Esper Wing, Frost Breath, Air Slash, Air Slash, Frost Breath, slash, Frost Breath really messes us up. Looks like Frost Breath is a move that guarantees kills or crits. It's a guaranteed crit move. Like, I've not heard of that move. Frost Breath. So neither of these guys are particularly like perfect answers into Hisui and Braviary. I mean, let's look at this. Air Slash, I think, would be the thing we'd be getting hit with almost certainly. It can crit, it can flinch. I mean, we can survive a few, and if we can get off one, I don't think we can learn Fake Out. I think Fake Out's a fucking egg move in this game, so we can't even get Fake Out on our Incineroar, which would make the Darkest Lariat a guarantee. But I do think, like, yeah, we just like slap on black glasses, it would be a guarantee. It's close to a guaranteed one shot, even without it. So I mean, Incineroar definitely has use cases into a lot of this team. Actually, it looks like Gallade doesn't have any fighting moves. It'd be good into Gallade. It'd be good into Weirdeer. It'd be good into Phalanx even. No, it wouldn't. Close combat. That's fucking ridiculous. What am I saying? So then, what takes on all these fighting type Pokemon? I mean, Aegislash is good into Como and Bruniclus and Bruxish and Weirdeer. It's good into most of this. It's good into Gallade. It's really only in danger with Metacham, Blaze Kick, and Pangoro Crunch. So, like, Aegislash takes care of a lot of this team. So, let's say this is what the Elite Four team looks like so far, is Mega Archeops, Aegislash, and Incineroar. And I think between the three of those guys, we can definitely cook up a solution to this first one for sure, and I think also we can cook up a pretty easy solution to this second team as well. So that's the core for those first two. Now, Aegislash definitely helps into this fight, but Incineroar, you can't bring Incineroar in front of Gyarados or Kabutops or Lantern or Caracosta or Sneasler or Clodsire or Gliscor. Literally, Arbok, it doesn't have a... Arbok is the only Pokemon that doesn't have a super effective move into us. And we don't have anything particularly offensively viable against it. So Incineroar is terrible for Euterpe here. Just god-awful. And then... I think Archeops is too for a lot of it as well. I mean, Aegislash is handy because of the steel typing and because of King's Shield mechanics and things of the like. But man, there's no clear answer to this. Like, you think Psychic would be good, but it's only super effective against 4 of these 9 Pokemon, so less than half. You think, like, Ground? I mean, Tentacruel has water. It still hits super effective, but it does have Surf. Arbok hits super effective, but it has Ice Fang. Clodsire, it's good into Clodsire. Ground is good into Sneasler. Ground can hit Caracosta super effective, but it has Liquidation. It can hit Lantern super effective, but it has Surf. It can hit Kabutops super effective, but it has Aqua Jet, Aqua Cutter. and then it's not good into Gyarados. So it's like ground, yeah, but even in the cases that it works well, like it's still vulnerable in a lot of those instances because of good coverage. Ground that is protected against water. I mean, all I can think of is like water ground. It would be neutral. I mean, it's gonna be neutral no matter what. But water ground, grass ground, water resists water. I think water and grass are the only things that resist water. Pretty sure. I think water resists ice, but I don't think ice resists water. So like, I'm not bringing Whiscash. Whiscash sucks, and I'm not gonna go get like I mean, in theory, I could. No, Torterra's not in this game. Chestnut's in this game. I don't think there's a grass ground type in this game except Mega Go-Goat is grass ground in this game. But are its stats good at all? Pokemon data. Mega Go-Goat. .646 is actually kind of crazy. You'd have to keep it safe from the people with ice type coverage. Technician is not an amazing ability, though. So it's got like, it's like a mixed attacker with okay bulk. Mega Go-Goat. Now, does that have any use into anything else? I mean, I guess you could argue that Go-Goat, it wouldn't be Mega like in this first fight. It would be defensively okay, possibly into the first fight. Less so in the second fight, but kind of defensively neutral. It's vulnerable to Ice Fang, and this is even if it's in one of the places we can still catch it. It might not be. It's neutral into all these water moves, and it's neutral into Poison Fang. Ground resist poison. Then we can hit like a lot of this stuff for super effective with ground and grass. I mean, Tentacruel, Deep Water Curse would be... The ice moves are what we have to watch out for. And Tentacruel and Arbok are the only ones with ice moves. Go-Goat. Mega Go-Goat. I mean... can still get poisoned. Still really kind of slow. What's the move set on Go-Goat? Okay, we got Aerial Ace. Is Go-Goat... Yeah, okay, so regular Go-Goat is also grass ground in this game. And yeah, similar thing. Weird mixed attacker with okay bulk. Barely better than his vanilla setup. Sap Sipper, though, could be good into... I don't know. Into that first gym. Level up moves. Aerial Ace, Earthquake. Leech Seed. Seed Bomb, Bulldoze. Milk Drink. Milk Drink's kind of crazy. Mega Horn. This thing could be good. I mean, can we catch one? Is the other question. Is it in a location that we can catch it all still? Go goat. I have a feeling it might not be. Tower of Deoxypus. Okay, we do have a go-goat encounter available to us. I mean, I don't think ground resists fire. Grass, ground. No, it does not. And it definitely doesn't resist flying. Flying or bug. That's good to know. It's a thought. It's a thought. It does have potential for Euterpe. Is that what we're looking at? Boss fights. Yeah, Euterpe. It's got... It just sucks that its defense isn't, like, distinctly better. Mega Go-Goat. Defense 97. I mean, like, it's good, but it just could be a lot better. What are some move tutor moves? Anything crazy? It's TMs and HMs. Move tutor. Body slam, defense curl, double edge, endure, mud slap, rock slide, roll out. No, nothing all that crazy. What about TM/HM moves? Toxic bulk up. I was thinking bulk up, protect, milk drink, earthquake. No, but we need a grass move. And if we're gonna go mega, bullet seed would go crazy on technician. Mega Go-Goat. Bullet Seed sounds kind of insane, honestly. Technician. Bullet Seed. Now let's say that between that and Aegislash, I have, like, what I need to cook through this Euterpe fight, which I don't think I do by any means. We'd still be really vulnerable to Tentacruel and to Gyarados in our way. In the past, Passimian has been what I've done to take on Gyarados. But in the past, we've been able to, like, be in when it switches in to hit the Intimidate, and that could be hard to pull off. But if we can pull it off, then our Defiant boost would give us +1 attack, and we'd be able to one-shot with close combat. I'm pretty sure probably guaranteed. That's if we bring Passimian. So now let's have Mudsdale stand in for Go-Goat for a second. Let's just play around with that idea. This is what the team would look like in theory, but with Go-Goat. Now, again, I still think that leaves us crazy vulnerable to Toxic Spikes and to Tentacruel and Gyarados. This is not the cook. Then, against Raideen, I mean, we've got Oricorio Bile. Now, did they make Oricorio better? I feel like they probably buffed Oricorio in this game, but I really don't know for sure. So let's look. Oricorio. Lazarus, yeah, so it's got 13 better speed. It's a base speed stat of 106. So, against Archeops here. So, let's see. Oricorio. Level 57. With a base speed stat. Okay, it's definitely still getting outsped. Of 106. Not 255. 106. Yeah, so Mega Archeops still very much so outspeeds. It's got... Let's see here. And then any other stats that are better on it. Special attack up 5. So special attack base stat of 103. Huh? So back to this damage calculator. So we got Aqua Step. And Petal Dance and Revelation Dance. Okay. Wrong one. Petal Dance. And Revelation Dance. Okay, so Petal Dance goes kind of crazy. As crits, I mean, we can't be one-shot by any of the crits. But we can get hit really hard. But then, nothing else has a focus sash. Can we learn dual wing beat? What does that look like? Dual wing beat. No, it doesn't do it. Can we learn Rock Blast? I don't think we can. But let's look. Let's find out together. I know Mega Archeops is down here. Mega Archeops. Ironhead. Crunch, Quick Attack, Leer, Wing Attack, Rock Throw, Double Team, Bite, Pluck, Ancient Power, Agility. I don't think there's any way they let this thing have Rock Blast. That would just be... It's not an egg move even. Rock Blast, Rock Blast, Rock Blast, Rock Tomb, Rock Smash. Do a rock slide. Yeah, no rocks. No rock blast. What does no rock blast, huh? What can fucking learn rock blast? So Toucannon, Marowak, Nose Pass, Probopass, Cloth. I've got Cloth with rock blast, but I can't justify bringing Cloth to this Elite Four. Heracross can learn rock blast. But that's not good for a fire flying Elite Four member. That's kind of crazy. Dwebble Crustle, also not exactly smart. Omastar, I killed my Omastar. Onyx Steelix, but Steelix again, fire, not awesome. Shieldon Bastiodon, fire again. Corsola, but that's hard to guarantee yourself. But Corsola could be really good into... I mean, we get hit with Petal Dance. We get outsped and hit with Petal Dance and one shot. The fucking focus sash on this Oricorio, man, it's not fun. How much do we take from a Revelation Dance on the Switch? So Archeops with like a worse defense, like a 10-point worse defense at least. Let's say it's even 65. So Archeops can get switch in before Mega Evolving. If we bait out a Revelation Dance from... One thing I was thinking about was getting a Tinkaton. If I get a Tinkaton, I can lead with the Tinkaton. I can do the Focus Sash. I hit the Focus Sash on this Oricorio. It goes for Revelation Dance or Quiver Dance. Ooh, what if it goes for Quiver Dance? +1. At +1, it would outspeed us at that point. And then it would hit even harder with Aqua Step or Pedal Dance. These are all crits. A crit can't kill. I mean, I gotta remember that. And that's if it hits Revelation Dance instead of... Or rather, Quiver Dance instead of Revelation Dance. But I think it would want to hit Revelation Dance into a Tinkaton. Let's see here. Tinkaton. Level 58. Oricorio. Level 57. 103 special attack. Revelation Dance. Yeah, a non-crit does well over 50%, and a crit can usually kill. Well, not usually, a little, like 40% of the time a crit would kill. So yeah, I do think maybe leading Tinkaton, fake out Tinkaton, would bait their Revelation Dance. We switch in Mega Archeops. They tank the Revelation Dance, no issue. They Mega Evolve, and then the Rock Tomb is a guaranteed one-shot. And then I think pretty much everything else would be a guaranteed one-shot with Rock Tomb as well. I mean, so Scorch, level 58, of course. Also, Brave Bird would do it. Semi-Seer, level... Let's just call it level 60 in case it buffs. Level 60, it's a roll. Level 58. Brave Bird is almost a guaranteed KO. If they haven't been improved upon at all. Let's see here. Semi-Seer. I would imagine they might have improved the monkeys. Or at least redistributed them a little bit. Okay, yeah. Slightly better special attack and HP. So base HP stat of 82 on the Semi-Seer. But everything else would remain the same. Rock Tomb's a roll to kill, slightly more likely to kill than not kill. Brave Bird's a roll to kill, same likelihood kind of on either to kill or not. I mean, this though is all assuming I don't have any attack IVs. Let's evolve Mega Archeops real quick. Or let's do a Mega Evolution test, so to speak. Go somewhere I know I've gotten an encounter before. Hey, I'm studying this to beat a relative of yours. Oh damn. I don't have any non-damaging moves. Yeah, hold on. I'm almost certainly not going to bring Knockoff to the Elite Four. I don't really see a big use for it. There's very few Pokemon that it would hit for super effective damage, and not a lot of Pokemon holding held items either, so it just seems kind of silly. But that's not what we're doing right now. Let's take a look at what happens when we Mega Evolve. I want to get these stats right. Okay, so the attack stat is actually at 218. Defense, oh my god, is at 122. $110 on the special defense, and 187 is our actual speed stat. So we're even faster than I thought we might be. And we're getting even closer into the one-shot territory against Semi-Seer, but we're still not there all the way. Okay, so we don't guarantee one-shot Semi-Seer. Let's see what else, though. There's no way we one-shot Togekiss. Chatot, probably, I would imagine. Chatot. Rock Tomb and Brave Bird, one-shot Chatot. Alolan Marowak. I doubt we one-shot this. No. Definitely don't one-shot this. This thing is got a pretty cracked defense. Regular ass Toucan. What about Toucan? And we one-shot that. This is all with Rock Tomb over Rock Slide too. It's a roll, very unlikely to one-shot on Toucan. What about Pyroar? Brave Bird. Pyroke? What is Pyroke? What the fuck? Pyroar. 58. Okay, that was weird. Yeah, very, very unlikely. Technically possible, very unlikely to one-shot Pyroar. But you can get really good hits in on most of them. It still definitely doesn't discourage me from bringing Archeops, but I think that we definitely see. So for Togekiss here, Aegislash shuts this down really, really well. We have to avoid flinches, but honestly, I'd do Covert Cloak. I literally can just run Covert Cloak and avoid the flinches, and then we can take it out in one hit once we do a Swords Dance or two. In fact, let's look into that right now. Okay, that's not actually, because I'm... Because Togekiss is scary. And Aegislash is pretty much a guaranteed bring. So that's something. The rest of these guys, some combination of Mega Archeops, Incineroar intimidates, because Mega Archeops is also hitting intimidates. And this is Go-Goat, theoretically. So the first two gym leaders we cook with this. The third gym leader, some combination of these two. Without good answers for Tentacruel or Gyarados, really. And then the 4th we cook with this and this and this. And then this to take care of the Togekiss threat if it comes up. Okay. So let's say it is those 5. With the Mudsdale being a Go-Goat. And let's say we have the first 4 up against it. So I'm seeing a Gyarados lead. Intimidate Gyarados lead. Hit the Intimidate. And then we go for, you know, an Aqua Tail, right? If they switch, which they might not switch at all, but if they switched, they're going to switch into Golisopod if they even bring it at all. In which case, we can switch into Aegislash or Mega well, yeah, Mega Archeops can probably eat a first impression. Or even better yet, Incineroar can eat the first impression really easily after an Intimidate. So we hit another Intimidate. We got double Intimidate, triple Intimidate if we Mega Archeops at the end as well instead of Mega Go-Goat. But Mega Go-Goat might be a little better depending. I don't know. It really depends. So yeah. So let's say we get rid of Ceruledge. They don't even switch it out, right? And then we're just sitting there with Gyarados. And let's say they don't bring the electric Cyclizar, right? So the next thing coming out, let's say it's freaking Tyrantrum here, right? Tyrantrum wants to hit Rock Slide. We switch into our ground type, whoever it may be. Maybe Mudsdale, honestly. And they tank the Rock Slide and they hit back with an Earthquake. Boom. Then, let's say, then they want to bring a Golisopod. At that point, we switch Gyarados back in. We start hitting fucking whatever it is. We can probably teach a Rock Tomb for that fight even, maybe, and start hitting those. Then, you know, we've got a couple of threatening guys. I mean, this is when, in my mind, I was like, Passimian is good for so much of this. But then what happens when it actually comes time to fight these two Cyclizars, the Mega Cyclizar? Because this is what happened on my very first Elite Four, is that I got through the entire thing, and then you don't know whether or not you're going to fight the fighting type Mega Cyclizar or the electric type Mega Cyclizar. Now the team I'm looking at, so we're going Crush, Dragon, Double Edge is on both sides. It's a physical and a special dragon, but let's just look at typing. Crunch, Dark Dragon, normal on both. Dark Dragon, normal. The Dark is scary for Aegislash. In theory, we can do King's Shield stuff. But that's if we're lucky enough to switch in on a Double Edge or a Collision Course. And then, you know, what are we doing? We're trying to King's Shield it, get its attack down, maybe switch back our Intimidate guys if we've even left them alive up to this point. And then what? Like, we get hit with an Electro Drift and we're fucked unless we switch in Assault Vest Mudsdale was the play last time. It was going to be Assault Vest, Mudsdale, Stamina, Earthquake. And that should, in a lot of instances, be able to survive, like Dragon Pulses and long enough to hit an Earthquake. But if it's Cyclizar, Crunch, Dragon Rush, Double Edge, Tinkaton, a Steel Fairy type, resists 3 out of 4 from both. And then it takes neutral damage from either Collision Course or Electro Drift. a special or a physical move. What is the PP on those two moves? Five. I don't think these are PP max moves, and I imagine Electro Drift is the same. 5. Yeah, 5. So, you know, in theory, you could PP stall, right? You could switch between Aegislash or Mudsdale to eat the Collision Course or the Electro Drift, while Tinkaton can eat everything else and chip it with Fake Out. We're getting Intimidates in with, like, I don't know. Fairy Steel could be really good into this fight in particular. Would it be particularly good into any of the other fights? This fight, not so much. Could maybe help us into Togekiss. But outside of that, Toucannon has Flame Charge, Chatot has Torch Song. It could be really bad. Fairy Steel into this. I mean, another Steel type doesn't hurt with the poison, but then we're not able to eat up Toxic Spikes unless, did I remember right? Does Tinkaton get Rapid Spin? Move Tutor. No. There's not a Rapid Spin TM. I can almost guarantee that. Egg Moves is not relevant to me. I'm not seeing Rapid Spin. I did make that up. Mortal Spin. I don't think Mortal Spin clears hazards. I think it puts hazards. Oh. Removes entry hazards. Okay, so we can get rid of Toxic Spikes with Tinkaton. Tinkaton Mortal Spin for Toxic Spikes. That's beginning to look a little more like something we can justify. Is these 5 and a Tinkaton, and Passimian just doesn't come at all because it's not good into the rest of the Elite Four. It's really kind of bad into the rest of the Elite Four. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Y'all, anyone watching, if you want to take a look at this, take a look at this team and tell me if you could bring one Pokemon to this fight, who would it be, non-legendary, and what would you use it for? How would you use it? show you the Gyarados. Mega Gyarados over here. Any ideas? No. That's fine. Okay. So let's look at this again. Mega Archeops and Incineroar. One-shot everything on this team. We put a Rocky Helmet on Aegislash for Crustle to get through the Sturdy. We can do it perfectly safely, pretty much. With King's Shield attack drops. And then it's just a matter of kind of playing around. But we have the tools necessary to one-shot pretty much every single thing on this other team. Same can be said for this fight. Like, Archeops does a lot of work into all the fighting types. Incineroar does well into all the, most of at least the psychic types. Aegislash is good into a lot of this stuff. Like most of it. Really only scared of Pangoro and Medicham, so. And then, you know, Mudsdale can also deal with some of this stuff pretty well. I mean, you can just kind of rely on Mudsdale to do something. I don't know. Gyarados can fly around in here. We even could maybe like Mega Gyarados for this fight. Dark damage into... I mean, it makes it a little scarier against a lot of these guys. Phalanx is kind of scary, but another one that Aegislash handles really well. So I think the first two are pretty well taken care of by some combination of even just Archeops, Incineroar, and Aegislash. I'm not confident about this team. I'm still interested in checking out Go-Goat. But then that takes away one of our better answers into a lot of this fire gym here. Like, Mudsdale, you can switch into any fire Pokemon on this team and feel pretty confident it's going to come out okay. Whereas you're kind of fucked with Go-Goat. Whereas, like, here, sitting in Mudsdale seems fine for some of it. Clodsire, Sneasler go down great. And you can probably even survive, like, especially with an Assault Vest, like a hit from Lantern, or maybe even an Arbok. But, like, that's if you don't get hit with the Intimidate. That's if you don't get shut down with Glares. So I'm wondering if there's not a better ground-type Pokemon available to us at one of these encounters I still have available to me. So let's look at them in order. Here, I'll even pull it. I'll pull it up on your screen, the locations I have available to me. So the first encounter we still have available to us is Sophos City, right here. These are, you know, illegal, more or less. Still haven't gotten a Super Rod that I know of, but looking at the water, I don't see anything particularly useful. Right now we're looking pretty explicitly for counters for the water poison type Elite Four member. Okay, so with that in mind, what do we see here? They've got, you know, I mean, let's look at this. Just get this. Tentacruel is a scary prospect for a one-shot, and if you don't one-shot it, it sets up toxic spikes. So that is definitely intimidating to start the whole thing off. Now, let's pull up a damage calculator for Tentacruel real quick. Let me see what a level 58 Tentacruel is doing defense-wise, because I think it's a special defender primarily. Yeah, special defense stat of 120, regular defense stat of 65. Now, does that bear true in this version? Tentacruel. Lazarus. 10 more special defense. So the defense is still 65. Still really rather low. So what's our deal? Mega Archeops? Can you just like bust through this thing with a Brave Bird? Level 58. Damn, almost. Legit, almost. And what do they know? They know Surf, Deepwater Curse. So what does that look like into us? Surf, Deepwater Curse is not a thing on here. It's an ice move. A Surf crit can kill. So we can't sheer force of will it. But almost, damn. What can you learn? Let's look at this real quick. Mega Archeops learn set. Any ground moves? That's what we're looking for now. Any good ground moves? Naturally, no ground moves from level up. Egg moves we can't really think about. Taunt, protect. Okay, we can learn Earthquake. Where do we get the Earthquake TM? Do we already have it? Earthquake? No, we do not already have it. So let's see if I can't figure out where to get it. Because if we can teach this thing Earthquake over the fourth move, I mean, that's gotta kill. Like, it has to. Earthquake is a guaranteed one-shot into Tentacruel from a Mega Archeops. So now we just have to find the Earthquake TM. This is promising. Kaptara Island. No, let me read this. Catch all land Pokemon in East and West. Kaptara also needs Skunk Tank. That's not going to happen for us. It's not going to happen for us. Can we learn Bulldoze? Pokemon data. Bulldoze. There's Dig. Okay, we can learn Bulldoze. Does Bulldoze kill? Please say it does. Probably doesn't. Nope, fully does not. Shit, dude, that sucks. To know that Earthquake could kill, but that we literally just can't get it. Fuck, that's so annoying. Okay. If we bring Tankaton, I mean, that's not helping us at all. What do you got going on, Togedemaru? An attack stat of 143, a speed stat of 137. So you just barely don't outspeed Tentacruel, which a plus speed nature would take care of. So let's look at this. Let's see. Togedemaru. Level 58. Attack stat of 143. Zing Zap is a roll. Fuck, dude. That's a really strong move. From a pretty, like, by all accounts, pretty good attack stat, 143. I mean, that's a really pretty good attack stat. What about, what can Passimian learn that might help us out here? Passimian. Ground move or a psychic move. You're not invited up here right now, Toast. I'm sorry. Don't do it. She's mad. Move tutor. No, there's nothing. How do you one-shot this goddamn Tentacruel? What's the speed on this thing? 138. It's fast. It's really fast. Okay. So let's go back to this then. Let's go back to looking at the encounters I still have available to me. So, Silvo City. We're possibly interested in, what were we looking at? Nothing, actually. Nothing in Silvo City is interesting to me. Maybe Giraffe Rig. I can see a psychic type being helpful, but I don't even think so. The next one I have available to me still is, in fact, Keepos Town. This one here. Skrelp could do something, but not really. Fragility doesn't seem like the best brain to me. I don't have a single fairy type, and that seems kind of dumb, but I guess there is only like one dragon I really need to worry about, and steel resists dragon pretty good. So Keepos Town, you can, any evolution in theory. Just have to hope you catch one with like the right stats for what you actually are wanting. I looked at Raichu. I did look at like Mega Raichu. So let's look at like Pokemon data. Mega Raichu. You'd want the attacking one, so Mega Raichu X is the one you'd want to deal with. So let's see what this looks like. Raichu, level 58, and the base stats are 80 HP, 130 attack, 90 defense. Wow, huge improvements on Vanilla Raichu here. Oh my god. Why is that happening? 90 base special attack, 90 base special defense, and 130 base speed. So we're fast as fuck. And then I believe the ability, yeah, is Iron Fist. Iron Fist here for the physical one. Ability, Iron Fist. And then let's see what a Thunder Punch. I feel like this could do it. So that's a guaranteed one-shot. A Mega Raichu X Thunder Punch. I mean, assuming it has great stats. What if it had a 0 attack IV? Still a guaranteed one-shot. So Pikachu is interesting for Kipos Town. I believe there's also Pikachu possible on Pollen Road, which is another one. So Pikachu is something we can definitely pick up. Now, what does that do for us against everything else? Let's take a look, right? So boss fights. It one-shots Tentacruel, that's great. And then we draw out probably either Gliscor or Clodsire. There's a chance neither of them come. Only 4 of the yellow Pokemon come, so that means 3 of them are not coming. So, you know, they switch to one of these two. Neither are particularly crazy. We can expect ground moves and switch in, like, Archeops at that point, and maybe do some U-turn stuff, or Gyarados, because we're planning on bringing Gyarados. Gyarados is probably pretty good into both of these, especially since this Clodsire is not water absorbed. We can get off our Intimidates and Intimidate on Clodsire, not Intimidate Gliscor, but he doesn't have a particularly offensive moveset, and if we can avoid the Drill Run, get the free switch, that all works for me. If they don't come, if Lantern doesn't come even, if the 4 Pokemon that they bring instead are Arbok, Caracosta, Sneasler, and Kabutops, what does that look like, right? So let's say it's Sneasler. Blank set, 58, 57, actually. Thunder Punch is a guaranteed 2-shot, and we do outspeed, which is interesting. I mean, let's see, the strongest thing they can do to us off of one move is probably Dire Claw here, unless, what's Poison Jab? Is that even more? I think it's less. They're about the same. And even if they crit, 2/3 damage at most, and then like a chip of poison damage if we got poisoned. What about Arbok after 1 Intimidate? Arbok, level 58, -1 attack. Thunder Punch is not a 2-shot at that point. Can we learn any psychic moves? I mean, that would be certainly crazy. Pokemon data, Mega Raichu X. Let's look at this move pool. So the learn set is totally electric. Egg moves we're not interested in. TMs, we only want to get so excited about TMs. Can we learn Bulldoze? No. Any psychic moves? What about Move Tutor? Help us out. Mega Raichu X. Body Slam counter, Defense Curl, Double Edge, Dynamic Punch, Endure, Mega Kick, Mega Punch, Mud Slap. Damn. That Iron Fist thing is really only good for like 2 moves. That's really rough. So we one-shot Tentacruel now. If we bring that, but at what cost? That's like the one thing I can think of that does it. Are there faster ground types? Let's go back to these locations. Let's keep looking. So Duo is a ground type in this move. In this game, rather. What is Dodrio? Any buffs to Dodrio? $10 extra HP. Literally. Okay. Dodrio. Level 58. Ground flying in this game. And then what's the learn set on this sucker, huh? Thunderous Kick. It's kind of interesting. Throw that on the damage calc. I think in this game it's fighting and electric. I doubt it's going to take care of this Tentacruel. It does not. But what about... What else do you learn? Bulldoze. Hopefully you learn something stronger than Bulldoze. Drill Run. Misses. Which is a bummer. Egg moves, Tam moves. Move Tutor. Anything crazy? No. So let's look at Drill Run. Well, do we even outspeed? I didn't even check that. We do outspeed. I figured we should. Drill Run. Does not one shot. Literally, I feel like the only thing that can guarantee this one shot is that Raichu. And with the goal being no toxic spikes, right? Okay, so if that's the case, then like I do that instead of bringing Tinkaton, right? Tinkaton, who we could teach Mortal Spin to get rid of toxic spikes and would be immune to the toxic spikes with its steel typing. It's really not good into anything in this field as far as like what it. I mean, it could be okay into Gyarados. What is good into Gyarados in this scenario? Aquatail Crunch, Poison Fang. I mean, that's coverage. Literally, maybe just our Gyarados. We come in, we intimidate as it's trying to maybe hit Dragon Dances. Let's keep looking at locations. I really, you know, I'm sorry that like this stream is gonna be all just like theory crafting and no play, but it just has to be done. Okay, so the next location available is Last Light Road, so this very next one. Still haven't fully gotten rid of the idea of getting our own Cyclizar. And in fact, I'm kind of comfortable locking it in just because I'm so confident I don't want to use any of these other Pokemon. Like, honestly, I'm pretty incredibly confident that I don't want to use anything but Cyclizar from Last Light Road there. Because, like, I'm not bringing Ceruledge or Armarouge. I feel like those would be good into the first two fights in theory, but I have answers to those first two fights kind of worked out that I feel pretty comfortable with, and in addition to that, I think that they, you know, Armarouge with the Psychic typing is maybe arguably good into this fight, but they're also very much so a Water trainer. and they're, you know, fairly fast as well. Like, it would be a nightmare to Gyarados, either one, with the Mega Gyarados Dark typing. And then, like, you're not really offensively doing anything great into this or this. I mean, this is full of Dark type Pokemon, and then Golisopod with the water, and Aegislash with the Ghost. Yeah, I don't think. I think like Silverledge, Armarouge are threatening. You don't want to ignore them, but I don't think they're. You know what? Let's do that. There's some gameplay. Let's go to Last Light Road and get a Cyclizar. I know Oricorio's not coming to the goddamn Elite Four. It was instrumental the first time, but this is the slowest it could possibly be. Last Light Road. Looking for Cyclizar. It's not that unlikely of an encounter. We should see it sooner rather than later. Because if we get a really cracked Cyclizar, then we can bring our own, I would think probably electric type Cyclizar to the Elite Four. And that could put us in really good shape against a couple of different threats, honestly. It just depends on how good it is. Come on, Cyclizar. Stop hiding. Please come out. It will show up. It will show up. Let's just do a little rapid fire. Cyclizar. I want the motorbike dragon. Give it to me. God damn it. Boom. Come here, buddy. Oh, I have no idea what bird we're on for naming. Well, I'm catching him. I think we definitely did. I think we got to T. I feel pretty confident we did Titmouse. And Vulture, I think we did. I think we also even did Warbler, maybe. I'm gonna call this thing Yellow Legs. Apparently that's a kind of bird. For some reason, this has been a bird run. Yellow Legs. Alright. Please be good. Be absolutely cracked. It could be worse for... It couldn't be much worse. It couldn't be much worse. Let's do this, at least. Let's test out the Mega stats real quick. Let's make it modest. Let's get it close to the level cap. Look, the move set doesn't matter at all right now, especially these physical moves. It's got a great physical move set though. Terrain Pulse. I'm just going to get it up to level 57 in case I wanted to try to do like a little bit of IV training. I'm not promising I will or won't. Alright, now let's give it this Mega Stone. And see what this looks like. Okay. Cyclizar Electric. Level 57. Attack doesn't matter. Defense is pretty rough. Okay, this special attack is insane. And 171 speed, we outspeed. Even under leveled here. Now, what can we learn though? I meant to include you on all that gameplay. Sorry, everybody. Let's look at the learn set though. Mega Cyclizar V. Damn, you don't get Electro Drift until after the level cap at the Elite Four. That is pretty fucking rough. But I think we could probably teach this thing Thunderbolts. Feel like I taught it Thunderbolt once before. Yeah, that should be Thunderbolt right there. So let's look at that. Thunderbolt. Not a guaranteed one shot of the Tentacruel, but it is a guaranteed two shot. And if it just goes for Toxic Spikes, which I think it might against an unmega'd Cyclizar, that could be really good. So we hit the Thunderbolt. We hit a second time, we kill. Maybe Clodsire comes in. We can teach it other stuff. That's egg moves. Where's the move tutor? Move tutor. Nothing very good. I think it already knows U-turn though, so that's something. We can get ourselves out of situations pretty easily with U-turn. Shed Tail and U-turn. We can keep both. Shed Tail is actually kind of crazy. So we come in, we Shed Tail. If we Shed Tail into an Earthquake with our Gyarados, we can rack up Dragon Dances behind a Substitute. And probably sweep a lot of this. Not, well, unless Lantern comes. I don't think it's the answer. I don't think it's the answer. If it was a little, I don't know. But let's get that encounter out of the way. We did that encounter, so I can take it off this list. That was Last Light Road. So we only have 10 encounters left available to us. So let's go back to looking at those then. See, Visteri, we picked something up, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I'm not sure who we got. I can't remember for sure. Marmaro, Sivasteri. Oh, we got Shedinja. Shedinja here for our Sivasteri. What's the very next one? Sea of Volcai is our next one, so that's all the way down here. In the water, I mean, in theory, Chinchou would be great. Chinchou Lantern. Right? Would that be good? I mean, Chinchou Lantern would go awesome into this fight. They've got 2 ground moves on the entire thing. No grass moves. 1 grass move, Petal Dance. So, we, in theory, would go crazy into this. Volt Absorb could help a lot into Cyclozar V there. But it's not a particularly good bring into a lot of this other stuff. It's like neutral into like everything. Except for, I guess, Cerulege himself. It's bad for this first fight, Lantern. It's kind of mid into this fight. I guess it could be good into Bruxish there. And then it's only good into so much of this. I mean, it's okay into Tentacruel, I guess. It'd be okay into Caracosta. Their Lantern. Kabutops. I don't think it's like the best thing. So if I'd say the water's out. I don't think we need anything from the water. So then we look at these. Certainly, I still think Scizor has something to be said for it. You know what? They have this little team builder thing here. Let's do it. Let's build our team. So, Archeops, Mega Archeops. No, this is silly. This is like very generic. I don't need to do that. Location. So Scizor was something I was considering at one point. I don't really think it's very good into this team. Considering I fully brought Scizor to the last thing. Tinkaton I'm still heavily considering, but doesn't really help us in this fight. We've got the Paldean starters. I don't think any of which are particularly going to be helpful into this fight. I mean, Meowscarada could be good. Flower Trick is crazy. I mean, it goes really hard. And it'd be neutral into most of the team. Resisted by 1, 2 out of 9. And then super effective against 1, 2, 3, 4. Because this is Mega Evolving. 1, 2, 3, 4. It always crits too. 1, 2, 3, 4. Super effective into 4 Pokemon. Neutral into 3 others. And yeah, and then only resisted by 2. And that's not accounting like, oh, and we can make it what's the effect called? Libero or whatever, where it changes its type after every move. Move tutor moves. Thunder Punch. Could be good. I think it gets Flower Trick on Evo. Play Rough. Night Slash obviously could be good. What are some TM moves? The Shadow Ball? Yeah. Aerial Ace. Could be good. What if that this thing learned U-turn? Oh, it does. Level 24. Okay. So, like, Flower Trick, U-turn, Play Rough, Night Slash. I mean, all of that could go crazy. So, I mean, a Meowscarada could, in theory, help a lot here. Thunder Punch into Tentacruel. Let's see what that looks like. Meowscarada. Blank set. 58. Thunder Punch. It's a 2-shot. If Lavera goes through, it's still a 2-shot, but it's closer to a 1-shot. What else do we got? So Sprigatito is a candidate. I didn't come up with a good candidate for Sophos. For Keepos Town, I think we were looking at Pikachu as a candidate. I'm going to start writing down candidates. Keepos Town. I think Pikachu was one of the only things we were looking at. Again, I'm not looking in the water. I had a Magnezone at one point and I was kind of like so-so on it. I mean, obviously Steel and Electric, we were already looking at Togedemaru. It could be really helpful in a lot of this team. But it's also vulnerable to plenty of it as well. But I'd say it's at least a candidate. Eevee, if we could catch an Espeon that went crazy, I mean, this still has insane special defense. This is a dark type in this game. Doesn't this would be vulnerable, this would be vulnerable, none of this would be vulnerable. Unless Espeon learns like Energy Ball. If Espeon can learn Energy Ball, that would make things a little more complicated. I'm not seeing. So we got move tutor moves. Nothing crazy. Thunder something, dazzling something, shadow, psychic. I'm not seeing Energy Ball. Big moves are nothing. Solar Beam, I mean, yeah, that's probably the best they'll give you, and that's not really doing much for me. So, I can't think of like an Eevee that would make this worth it. Pikachu Doduo I was kind of looking at, but not seriously. I think Pikachu's the main candidate, but I would say not rule out Magnemite or Eevee. Okay, and then Sea of Volkai. What was I looking at there? So far, Sprig, Tito. Sprigatito. Okay. We don't really care about the water. Tankaton. That's a big candidate. Sprig, Tinka. I think we're good on Fuecoco, Quaxley. And the night you have Rowlet, Hoplio. I'm somewhat tempted by Poplio. I'll write it down as a candidate. Rowlet's a no-go. I'll write down Poplio as a candidate. So Sea of Volkai, that's contentious. The next available is Tower of Deoxypus. Tower of Deoxypus, which I think earlier I was looking at Go-Goat. I'm still tempted by that. So I'll write that down. Go-Goat. But while I'm feeling so vulnerable to the Hisuian Gudra? What is that? I'm saying it out loud. What does that look like in this fight? Hisuian Gudra. Avoid these earth users. What's the moveset on Hisuian Gudra? Gudra. Is this the same moveset? No. So is it down here? Gudra, Hisuian. Hisuian. There it is. Hisuian Gudra, what do you learn? Huh? Move tutor. Acid spray. Thunder punch. Earthquake, which we'll never get. Outrage, Sludge Bomb, Iron Head, Rain Dance, Dragon Bite, Acid Armor, Acid Spray, Shelter, Shell Armor, Sap Sipper, Gooey. Okay, I'd say the moveset's not crazy, but it's at least in contention. Goomy. What else are we looking at? So we've got Dreepy would be cool, but it doesn't fully evolve in time for the level cap. Kind of fucking crazy. We killed our Mawile. Those are the only things really standing out to me here. The next encounter we have available to us is Corrin Crossing. I could see a Bruxish of our own being pretty good into this fight, but at what cost? It could be okay into this fight as well. It has some use case into this, even. Not really. It'd be useless into this. It'd be okay into this. There's only one fighting type that wouldn't resist the psychic moves in Como. And it would be like nothing into this. That's not a good idea. So not Bruxish. I thought of a Tentacruel of our own, but again, I don't really think it works. Corrin Crossing. So another Magnemite chance. Something. Aerodactyl. Again, I'm looking at this fight. Gallade? Gallade? What is that? What does our own Gallade look like here? Not great for that fight. It is straight up not great. Not great for this fight either. All those flying types. And then this fight, Gallade, Tyrantrum, Obstagoon if we don't... Obstagoon. Yeah, we can take that. Crafty. Yeah, we can... Maybe Gallade. So, but that's if we get lucky enough that that's what we get the right gender Curlia. I'll write it down as an option. Corrin Crossing, Curlia, Magnemite. Not super tempted by anything else. I picked up a Torkoal one time ever, and I was deeply unimpressed. Next available encounter is Porpello here. Portpello. Again, not super... I mean, Cloyster is one that I have thought about a little bit, actually. Because Cloyster, I think, can learn Rock Blast. I don't know. Cloyster is something, maybe. But let's look. I think we'd probably want to look at past encounters if I really am going to start considering that now. Whereas, like, here, these land encounters are really good. Certainly Togetic is tempting, just not for this fight that I'm afraid of. It's tempting for this fight. It would do hella work on the second fight, and it wouldn't be great for the third or fourth, but it could be really good for this last fight as well. Could be. So Portpello... Definitely, it's a candidate. Togetic. I feel like Portpello is going to be a hard pick. Ribombee is a candidate. Because Mega Ribombee is just so fast. And those fairy moves can hit really, really hard. Alolan Raichu is interesting. I mean, for this fight, good into Tentacruel. Not good into Arbok or Gliscor. Could be okay into Clodsire. I think one of its abilities is Levitate, so maybe it could be good into these guys. Sneasler, Caracosta. You know, maybe we can teach it Energy Ball. I don't think so, though. A grass move on a Raichu would be pretty fucking crazy for us. So Alolan Raichu is definitely a candidate. What about, what else do we have? I'm gonna say no to those. Been tempted by Morgrem, but I don't actually think it does anything good in this fight, because that's our poison weakness getting exploited, and then in this fight, it's kind of like the best of... It's like the worst of both worlds on both sides. It's like offensively, we're not hitting any of these Pokemon very well because they're resisting Dark and Fairy type one way or the... Well, they're not really resisting Fairy type, I guess. He's fucked. He's fucked. He's fucked. He's fucked. He wouldn't be fucked. Okay. Could be good. And then, I don't know. That's one fight, though. And like I said, this is the fight I'm the most afraid of, low-key, and it's that I feel like I have the least answers to, and that Grimmsnarl's not doing anything for that. But I'll write it down on the wish list, because it could be good. Yeah, this Portpello encounter is going to be hard to nail. Galarian Rapidash is not the play. The next encounter available is the Nyx Trails. I delayed a lot. I delayed so many encounters for exactly this reason. Again, water... Shelter, maybe. Shelter's like an old rod pickup. I mean, that seems kind of silly, but in general. Xatu. I think Xatu's been buffed pretty good in this game. Move Tutor. Nothing crazy. Team HM. Xatu. Wish user could be really big. But let's look at these stats. Only 15 extra stats. How did you even distribute it? You gave it slightly more HP and slightly more special attack. I mean, that's... What are these abilities? Synchronize, pass on status, early bird, wake up early, magic bounce. Exactly what it sounds like. Bounces the ability, bounces status moves back, huh? Does magic bounce also bounce back hazards? Magic bounce. Reflect status inducing moves, entry hazards, and stat lowering moves. Okay. So that's interesting. So Nyx Trail, I'll put Xatu down as a candidate for sure. I mean, Magic Bounce and Wish could be pieced together to make something really useful. Snowbird's not a thing. Maybe one of these ghosts, but I don't know. Let's look, actually. Pokemon data. Dusclops. 10 more HP. Dusknoir, 15 more HP. The defenses... Oh my god, Eviolite. 195 on both these defenses with an Eviolite. We got Levitate or Frisk or Pressure or Frisk, neither of which are particularly awesome. Shadow Punch, or yeah, right, or Shadow. Raging Fury. Ice Punch, Bind, Disable, Will-O-Wisp. I mean, this is like a classic support mon kind of thing. Does it work awesome? I don't really see it helping much in this fight. The biggest threats in this fight, as I see it, for the Pokemon that we were talking about bringing, right, is like, let's say, like, Mudsdale can kind of like take out probably at least 2 of these Pokemon without really any concern. I'm afraid of Gyarados. I'm afraid of this Mega Gyarados. I'm afraid of it Dragon Dancing. I'm afraid of, like, because in the past, like, Defiant Passimian, we led, and that, like, if we can get that Intimidate and hit a close combat, it goes right down, right? But that's a really, really strong Pokemon. And I don't know what I do. I don't know. I need an answer to Mega Gyarados. That's got to be the priority. Fuck. So Nyx Trails. Let's go back to the location. I mean, yeah, I don't really have. I think Xatu is an interesting candidate. This is another place to get Go-Goat. Not really tempted by anything else. Maybe I look at Mega Banette, but I'm not really thinking about it right now. The next encounter available to us is Arios Hideout. So, with the mindset of, like, we need to take out Mega Gyarados, I don't see anything super tempting. Intimidate Scrafty could be good. Drapion. What's Drapion's stats compared to Arbok's stats? I would not be surprised if they buffed Arbok a little bit in this game. Arbok. Just looking at stats right now. Okay, yeah, they gave it a little more defense and HP. Nothing crazy. Base stat total 463. Now Drapion. What do you look like? Base stat 520. Great attack and defense. Battle armor is an excellent ability. Anger Shell could go crazy. All the Fang moves it can learn. It's a poison type. Ceaseless Edge. That's a dark move, I think, right? And then anything crazy in the move tutor, like, can you learn like fucking Psycho Cut or something? There's no way. Fury Cutter. Swords Dance. I mean, that thing's interesting. I'll write it down as a candidate, at least. This is Arios Hideout we're talking about now. It's weird to me that, like, Boltund and Yamper have been so gate-kept in this game by, like, encounter rates and location pools, so that makes me want to look at it more. Slightly better attack and HP than in vanilla games. Abilities, Strong Jaw, Tough Claws. It's fast. Yeah, it's fast. It's got decent attack. Level up moves. Nuzzle, Evo. What's that? Thunder Fang? Yeah. The Thunder Fangs are all completely accurate in this game. Play rough, all the Fang moves. Volt Switch. Snarl. Charm and Snarl. A fast Charm and Snarl user. Definitely worth thinking about. Boltund. Alolan Muck. No. No. I mean, yeah. No. Doesn't really do anything for us anymore. An Obstagoon of our own is a little tempting. Should definitely write down Scrafty as a possibility, because that's not a terrible idea. There's not a lot of fairy types to worry about after that first gym. Okay, the next encounter available to us is Pollen Road. Again, I'm not really interested in anything in the water. I mean, obviously getting a Dragonite could be cool, but it's really unlikely. Like, quite unlikely. I don't think I could even encounter map if I wanted to. Unless I had been doing it from, like, the beginning of the game. It's another place to maybe get a Pikachu. Dedenne is kind of interesting. An electric fairy, Dedenne. Can Dedenne get Volt Absorb? much. Pixelate transistor. What is transistor? Attack or special attack is multiplied by 1.5 if an electric type. That's not a very great description. On me, or let's see here. Transistor ability Pokemon. Okay. No, it does not make you immune to electric type attacks. Okay. Pollen Road, Pollen Road. Still Detonate, I would put on the list of options. It's another place to get a Pikachu, possibly, if we want to go that route. A Spathra. Lumina Crash Speed Boost. How far does that carry us here? Can a Spathra learn any grass or ground moves? I kind of doubt it. But let's look. Move Tutor moves. Mud Slap, not exactly what I had in mind. No Retreat. It's also crazy. Dazzling Gleam, Psychic. Lumina Crash, of course. Can learn Miracle Eye. I didn't see it. So yeah, don't see it. Still Monotype Psychic, Lazarus. It's got better defenses, slightly smaller speed, which gets boosted by that. So these all sorts of the same sets by the same number of stages. That's something. This is kind of interesting, actually. A Spathra. A Spathra. It's not like it goes crazy, but it goes... Spathra. 58. Lumina Crash. It's a guaranteed 2-shot on Tentacruel. Probably Clodsire as well. Still not an answer into Mega Gyarados, but let's continue. So that's Pollen Road, nothing revolutionary there, and then Devosi Straits. This is the last thing. Again, nothing in the water I can be particularly... Oh wow. It's all water. Devosi Straits is all water. So maybe that's where we get a Cloyster. Which, again, does not help us with Mega Gyarados. If we could set ourselves up with Passimian, Defiant Passimian, we can always one-shot the Gyarados as long as we're in to get hit by Intimidate. What else are we looking at? I mean, the only thing we can guarantee is one of the fishing encounters. We cannot guarantee surfing encounters. If we could... What does Mega Dragonite actually look like? What is that? What does that do for us? Mega Dragonite. Dragonite. There it is. So it's got a base stat total of 700. With an attack stat of 144 and a special attack stat of 150. Okay. So you made this thing less bulky and more of a mixed attacker. Yeah, weird. It's got Serene Grace, promotes additional effects. Yes. So, Wing Attack, Hurricane, Fire Punch, Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch. Hey, stop it. Thunder Wave, Roost. Dragon Tail to get rid of Dragon Dance stuff. Our own Dragon Dance. No, we can't get Dragon Dance in time for the Elite Four, so none of that shit. So not a great move pool for us. Like to catch a Dragonair would be we'd be making it like a support mon, which is a little strange. So I think like firmly we don't worry about going for a surf encounter, and we just pick up a Cloyster if we're feeling like it. And then Cloyster, let's look at their stuff. I imagine Skill Link is still on the table. Move, Tutor, Cloyster, Explosion. It's interesting. Icy Wind obviously has uses, and then Shell Smash by level cap. Icicle Crash, Icicle Spear, you want to see? Spike Cannon, Rock Blast would make this a lot better for me. Spike Cannon, no Rock Blast, I'm not seeing it. So a little bit it looks like maybe the best thing we cooked up was Mega Raichu. Because I do believe the Mega Raichu would also be good into Gyarados itself. I knew I wasn't going to do any fighting, but I thought I'd have a few more kind of clear-cut ideas after this amount of time. Are there any of these encounters I feel comfortable just going and getting? I mean, who actually comes to the fight? Like, that's what I'm not answering of these new encounters. This Gyarados has Poison Fang, so it has fairy coverage. Stab and its Aqua Tail and its Crunch. I think maybe we do just go catch a Pikachu just to see how good its stats would even end up being. What about Eevee? Does Sylveon look like anything I want to bring? I mean, no, right? I mean, maybe I like bringing no fairy. Seems kind of fucking crazy. Seems kind of insane. And I need to bring a ground Pokemon, right? But, I mean... Well, we picked up one encounter. And I have candidates for a bunch of other encounters. I feel like I should be working backwards. Like, what do I have to truly take on Mega Cyclozar? And the answer is they both know Crunch, which is really upsetting. Crunch has 15 PP. I'm thinking about like PP stalling these guys, but don't think that's really super doable. So if we're working backwards, right? We agree that Steel Fairy resists all this. Immune to Dragon, and resists Crunch and Double Edge, which neither will be stabbed. Then it's just a matter of like, it's going to start hitting Collision Course and Electro Diff, right? So if it's Cyclozite S, if it's the fighting version, then, you know, we can, in theory, switch back and forth between Aegislash and Tinkaton until we run it out of its 5 Collision Course PP, and then Tinkaton could come in and fake out, and then as long as we can hit one fairy move, we kill it. The inverse would be if we have Tinkaton out, Electro Drift, we want to stall out those PP, then we need a ground type Pokemon. And in theory, Mudsdale is a good call. Mudsdale would also be a great answer into Tyrantrum, even into Ceruledge, Alolan Muck, even possibly Aegislash. And then our Aegislash could also be good to Tyrantrum, possibly Ceruledge. There's text there that could work out. Yeah. So, if I have Mudsdale, Tinkaton, and Aegislash, those 3 are designed to protect us from Cyclozar. Mudsdale, Tinkaton, Aegislash. And then if I also wanted Incineroar, would help against this. Incineroar would help against this. Tinkaton can do this and this, maybe. We don't have a fighting type. Passimian's really good into this fight. Like, really, really good into this champion fight. Tyrantrum, Spiritomb, Obstagoon, Scrafty, Aegislash. Like, 5 of the most threatening things. Because, like, Gyarados eats this thing for breakfast. Golisopod, we see Golisopod, we switch Gyarados. Alolan Muck. Scary, but something that Tinkaton Aegislash could handle. Between fake outs and even Incineroar, Intimidates and Flare Blitzes could handle it. I think Mudsdale, Aegislash, Tinkaton. Tinkaton is the best thing I can come up with for these goddamn Cyclozars. Because Mimikyu takes way too much damage from Crunch. Otherwise, Mimikyu could be really good, but it takes way too much damage from Crunch. There's no ground fairy type Pokemon yet, I don't think. Yeah, no. Oh my god. Yeah, ground fairy, it's a when probably. Ground fairy has insane typing. Like, insane defensive and offensive typing. I mean, 2 immunities and 4 resistances. But yeah, there's no ground fairy types yet. I think we might need to lock in Tinkaton. I just think, like, I have made it to the end of this fight once before, where literally we were down to the very last Pokemon, and we just couldn't outspeed it. Oh man, I'm pretty sure Mega Cyclist S. What are these abilities? Moxie or Electric Surge. Okay, so it's not like setting the sun and making itself faster automatically or anything crazy like that. So yeah, I think Tinkaton's the one Pokemon I can look at. That Tinkaton's also possibly a good answer into Mega Gyarados. Mega Tinkaton has huge power, so it could hit really hard. Would probably have really decent defenses. I think we got to do it. We've got one place we can get it. It's Sea of Volkai, and we would be doing it over a Sprigatito or a Poplio. And I don't think I can really justify either of those. Like, Poplio into this last fight, it wouldn't resist these double edges. It would be good into everything else from Cyclozar S, but obviously if we see Cyclozar B, we're just like fucked. And then outside of that, I mean, like, yeah, it could be good into a lot of this stuff. It could be good into a lot of this stuff. Into a lot of this stuff. It's not good into this. It's not good into this. And it's kind of it's pretty good into this. Not awesome, but pretty good. So it's really only one fight that a Primarina would be good in. But if we're working backwards, like I said, this is a really, really, really threatening Pokemon. And that is our last possible place for a Tinkaton, Tinkatank. I'm almost positive, but let's just look one more time. Locations, Tinka. So Fresco Isles we already did. Sea of Volkai is what we're looking at right now. Marmaro we already did. And those are all other trainers with it. Yeah, so this is literally our... So really it is a Tinkaton or a starter. Meowscarada is really tempting me, and so is Primarina. They're both really tempting. Let's look at movesets. This is easily the hardest encounter on the whole page. Meowscarada. I already looked at this. It would just be a hyper offensive Libero protein. That's what it is. Protein. Immediately before using any move, the user will change its type. This user becomes... This only happens once per switch in. So it's not once per fight in this game. It's one per switch in. So it is the... It's pretty busted. Supreme Arena. That's the moveset that we need to look at. Move tutor, nothing crazy. Misty Terrain, Moonblast, of course. Yeah, Encore. Sparkling Aria. Good voice tone. What's Propeller Tail? Boosts damage of priority moves, of which you probably just have like Aqua Jet, I would imagine. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna be affecting Baby Doll Eyes. Encore is interesting, but you know, you're not like fast. You're not a fast Encore user. What about some pranksters? Do we have any pranksters on the board? Murkrow, Spiritomb, Shrootle. Yeah, Impidimp. Impidimp Grimmsnarl, which is on the table. It is a fairy type also. And a fake out user. Sucker Punch, Glare. Move Tutor. All the punches. And Grimmsnarl gets a Mega in this game, if I'm not mistaken. The ability Unseen Fist, so ignores Protect, which doesn't really do much for us in this context. It's crazy attack. Masquerada could be really, really good into this fight. But it could get its ass handed to it. It's not gonna help in this fight, like, at all. And then Masquerada, no, not really. I mean, Flower Stroke would probably hurt pretty good, but not really. Play rough. Protein Play rough. Are these really the guys we're staying up at night about? Simeon. Okay. I think I have to pull the trigger on Tinkaton. Yeah, let's do it. We're going to go to the Sea of Volkai and get a Tinkaton. Tinkatuff. They're available day or night. Okay. Scyther. Okay. Maybe we should be able to do this. There is also a chance that I'm overhating on Oricorio just because I got one with really bad stats. Doesn't mean that it's explicitly bad necessarily. Still, you know, like, it could still be good. Maybe I should, like, look into the math of it all, but I just feel like I got burned by those stats so bad. Oh my god. Tinkaton. You're not an uncommon encounter. Oh, there's Poplio. Oh, I'm so tempted. I need a good answer to these Cyclozars. I just need it. I can't pretend Primarina is a good enough answer. Oh, man. Oh my god, will it never end? That was really stupid of me. Alright, let's make sure I don't do anything insanely stupid and just heal real quick. Okay, cool. Scyther. I'm doing it. In the future, maybe I'll try Poplio, and maybe I'll get Tinkaton instead of Togedemaru or whatever I did on Marmaro Island, but this... Oh man, I just hope it's good. A bird. Kind of bird starts with Z. It doesn't look like there's a type of bird that starts with the letter Z. There's like types of doves and wrens and hawks. Even in another language or something. Alright, let's just wrap around back to A, I guess. And what do you got? Auklet. Oh my god, please be good. I wish that defense stat was a little better, but I literally cannot complain about this. This is fucking pretty crazy, honestly. This is a real best case scenario situation. I'm gonna do the same thing where I might leave some room for EV training and get it up to level 57. These stats are insane. An S attack stat on a huge power using Pokemon is kind of fucking crazy. This is, and we got our fake out, S attack fake out. That's exciting. Mortal Spin, we want Oh, that is really something else. Mold breaker. What else can you get? I don't think you have anything too crazy. Sheer force prevents an unaware. Wait, unaware into Mega Gyarados would be amazing. Gyarados. Mega. It's level 59. Tank a ton. Let's call it level 58. And then you want to keep it as unaware for this. So real quick, actually I'll make it level 56 just so I can get this stat spread somewhat correct. So at 56, yeah, 106 attack, 178 HP. 192 defense, but we're gonna change that. I'll change that right now. Actually, let's see what up defense down special. Let's see what Impish does for the specific scenario that we're looking at with Mega Gyarados. So 113 defense now. That's pretty good. Special attack is nothing. 136 on the special defense, and then 127 on the speed, or 122 on the speed. Okay. So Gyarados has Aqua Tail and Crunch are the only moves it can hit us with. It can't. Aqua Tail does some pretty fucking crazy damage, but if we can Intimidate once or twice, then the Dragon Dances don't matter. And then let's say we got Fake Out. We do outspeed. And we ignore the Dragon Dance speed boosts, right? Is that how Unaware works? Does Unaware ignore speed boosts? Okay, it now does. When an unaware Pokemon attacks or is attacked, it ignores the opponent's stat modifications. While older versions explicitly excluded speed, current mechanics for Unaware now incorporate speed, meaning an opponent's agility or tailwind boosts are ignored by unaware Pokemon. Okay. So what does Spirit Break look like? Even just Spirit Break, not even Play Rough. Really? That's... Oh, that's at level 56, but level 58... It's a little better. What about Play Rough? I'm sure we can learn that. Wait, how is... It's barely better. Those Aqua Tails are scary as hell. But it's something. What's Aqua Tail PP? I can look that up. 10. I thought so. So a little bit. This looks like it could be the team. We've got 3 Megas. We got 2 Intimidate users, 3 with 1 as a Mega. 2 Steel types, a Fairy type, a Ground type, So we got dragon immunity, poison immunities, normal immunities, fighting immunities, electric immunities, psychic immunity, ground immunity, ground immunity. Is this the team? I really can't say for now, but what I can do is I can cross the Sea of Volcai encounter off of this list, which leaves us just 9 potential encounters left to work with. It's 10 o'clock. I work tomorrow. I'm going to call it a night, and again, you know, I'm sorry this is not an eventful stream. I really appreciate anyone and everyone for spending time with me while I think through this all. I don't know that I'm done thinking, but I was never going to fight the Elite Four tonight. I made that clear from the beginning. Hopefully the next stream is worth taking on the Elite Four and finally winning this game. But as of right now, this is where I'm at with it. I've still got encounters maybe, but we got a good Tankaton. That's nothing to sneeze at. Shitty Cyclizar, not nearly as big of a deal as getting a good Tankaton. I'm very happy with that. So that'll be today's stream. I should be back Friday morning at least. I don't know if that will be when I do the Elite Four, or if I'll do a long cook and maybe try to start the Elite Four fight itself in the afternoon, early evening. I do have some plans this Friday, but I'm not sure when they are. So I think they're at 6, so I'd have to be done before then. I don't know. In either event, I'll be streaming Friday. If I don't feel like I can fit this into a Friday stream with the time I have allowed, then I might go back to one of the old runs for just a second. I might start trying to do the Emerald Crest randomizer, or even maybe the Furret solo run, because I have to start a new one. I have to catch a Sinfrit, which I have to do during the daytime. I don't know, but in any event, Friday morning I plan on streaming one thing or the other. Thanks for everything. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Come on back now sometime, and enjoy the rest of your week.